So what is the tillage?
Sir, can you make it full screen?
Yeah, just I'm making it full screen, no problem. Now it is full screen, yeah?
Yes. You may proceed, sir.
Okay, okay. Just a minute, please. So what is the tillage? Actually, tillage is as old as agriculture we know. The tillage derived from the terms Anglo-Saxon. It is very pertinent and it is important question. The tillage derived from the that Anglo-Saxon word means tillion. Tillion means to plow or prepare the soil or to cultivate and to raise the grass. So tillage is derived from the Anglo-Saxon words. Likewise, the agronomy derived from the Greek word or Latin word. Likewise, agriculture is derived from the Greek word or Latin word. So that's why tillage is likewise tillage is also derived from the Anglo-Saxon word and agriculture derived from the Latin word. Okay, and agronomy from the Greek word. The Greek word means agros and nomos means the management. So management of the field crops is called agronomy. Likewise, Anglo-Saxon word means tillion. Tillion means to plow or prepare the soil for the seed to sow and to cultivate to raise the grass. Jethro Tull is considered the father of the tillage, and he suggested that the ploughing is necessary to make the soil into the fine particles. And another important term is the tillage. What is the tillage? The people can ask, tillage is the physical manipulation of the soil, or tillage is the chemical manipulation of the soil, or mechanical manipulation of the soils. So tillage is the mechanical manipulation of the soil. I think this is Dr. Prashant, this is for the NET examination or the JRF examination only?
Sir, both there are both faculties.
Oh, so I should focus on
Yes,
the
sir,
subjective
and
point
they
of
are.
view or the subjective. I should focus more on the subjective or objective.
Yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir. Subjective, theoretical. Okay, both.
Okay. So that when somebody will ask you what is the tillage, then your answer should be tillage derived from the Anglo-Saxon word. And after that, you can write the Jethro Tull is father of tillage. He wrote the book on the horse soil husbandry. And after that, you write the definition of the tillage. The tillage is the mechanical manipulation of the soils with tools and implements for a good tilth. So your answer, if somebody will ask what is the tillage, your answer like this. Similarly, the tilth. What is the tilth? Is the objective kind of the question you can ask in the examination. So what is the tilth? Tilth is the physical condition of the soil resulting from the tillage. So tilth is a very important word. It it may ask in the examination, even though it is asked in the so many examinations before that. What is the tilth? What is the characteristics of the good tilth? Like this. So tilth is the physical condition of the soils, and characteristic of good tilth is good tilth means the large aggregate distribution of the aggregates and mellowness. Then what is the mellowness and what is the aggregates? So we should know the kind of the term. Aggregates is a natural paid, and another term is the clod. Clod is the artificial paids. So aggregates is the natural paids and clods is the artificial paids. And mellowness is the friability of the soil. Mellowness, if in examination, what is the mellowness? A mellowness indicates friability of the soil, compactness of the soil, a soil work density like this. So that mellowness indicates the friability of the soil. Similarly, the aggregate size, the two kind of the aggregates. First one is the large aggregates, second one is the smaller aggregates. Larger aggregates that more than 1 mm diameter, and smaller aggregate less than 5 mm diameters, more precisely 1 to 5 mm diameter. Then what is the good tilth? Good tilth is equal proportion of the capillary and non-capillary pores. The higher percentage of the large aggregate is important for the irrigated condition, and smaller aggregate is important for the dry land condition to conserve the soil moisture. So to conserve the soil moisture, the soil should have the more percentage of the smaller aggregate as compared to the larger aggregate in dry land situation. Similarly, mallowness or the friability of the soil, that indicates the when clods. Clod means artificial aggregates. When dry, they become the more crumbly, means more porous. So tillage is resulted into the good tilth. Good tilth means the equal distribution of the capillary and non-capillary pores and size distribution of the aggregates and mallowness. Mallowness is the friability of the soil, means when clod dry, it becomes the more crumbly, means more porous to absorb the soil moisture. So it is very important, you can ask in the examination, tilth indicate the equal proportion of the capillary and non-capillary pores. So what is the objective of the tillage? To tillage simply that objective is to prepare the good seed weight, which help to the germination of the seeds. So how the we need for good seed weight for the preparation of the germination of the seeds, means seed create the make the soil, the tillage make the soil pulverized, and by which it indicates the better contact of the soil with the seeds. So the moisture of the soil moisture can easily be imbibed into the seed, so it will germinate more quickly. Similarly, to create the condition in soil suited for the better growth of the grass, means tillage reduce the soil compactness and also create the better condition, means increase the availability of the nutrients and soil moisture for the which facilitate the growth of the grass, and to control the weed effectively. This particular objective is asked in so many examinations. The main objective of the tillage to control the weed, okay, to increase the weed or to shift the weed, so that to control the weed effectively. Similarly, to make the soil capable for absorbing more rainwater, especially under the dry land situation. In dry land situation, tillage facilitates the absorption of the moisture, absorption of the rainwater into the soil, by which that water table of the soil will improve and facilitate the cultivation of the crops during the lean rainfall period. Similarly, to mix up the manure and fertilizer uniformly in the soil, means tillage facilitate the mixing of the manure and fertilizer, means after application of the manures, if we do the tilling, it makes the rotating or the rotating of the upper layer to the lower layer, that inversion of the soil, and soil inversion helps to better mixing of the manures and fertilizers, and to provide the adequate seed soil contact to permit the water flow to the seed and seedling roots. So that tillage providing the better seed soil contacts, by which that germination of the crop may be quickly and emergence will be the good, and to remove the hard point and to increase the soil depth. Hard point, the continuous ploughing up to a certain depth of the soil, it creates the hard pans. So by tillage, we can remove the hard pan, and it increases the crop root growth. If the crop root growth is increasing, it facilitates the better absorption of the nutrient and moisture from the lower soil layers. And to overall, these objectives can be achieved by disturbing or open the turned up soil, or weakens the inversion of the soil. So if question will come like this, what is the tillage and the objective of the tillage. Then your answer should be in point wise. Point wise answer should be there. You can always write the answer in precise and to the point, and try to build up the bullets or the numbers, 5-6 numbers. If the question the 5 marks, then you can write the 5 bullets, 5 important bullets. Define the particular thing and write the answer in the bullet forms, so that evaluators should focus, that can focus on the point only. So by which you can get the good marks. So what is the effect of the tillage on soil physical properties? First one is the pore space. That pore space, what is the pore space? Good tills should have the equal proportion of the capillary and non-capillary pores. I have already told you. So the soil are made up of a particle of the different size. Means air-filled space between the particles constitute the pore space. Similarly, when field is plowed into the soil particles, the soil particles are loosely stacked in the random manner, and pore space is increases. The optimum tilling, if do the intensive tilling, the pore space will be decreasing. So when the soil in the good tills, that equal proportion of the capillary and non-capillary pores can be achieved. This facilitates the free movement of the air and moisture into the soil and increase the infiltration. The soil structure, soil aggregate 1 to 5 mm size are favorable for crop growth. It is very important question, that size of the soil aggregate for the favorable crop growth, that is 1 to 5 mm size, means less than 5 mm size. It is very, very important. Similarly, the bulk density. The bulk density is inversely related to the organic matter content and plant growth. If the soil having the high bulk density, plant growth will be the less. So our aim to reduce the bulk density. The average bulk density of the Indian soil is 1.35 megagram per cubic meter, or that 1.35 gram per cc. And approximately particle density is the double of the bulk density. Means if the bulk density of the soil is 1.35 or 1.33 gram per cc, then particle density will be the 2.65 gram per cc or megagram per cubic meter. So it is very important we should know the particle density and bulk density. If bulk density increases, soil compactness will be increasing. If the question will come in examination, the compactness indicates more bulk density. Bulk density is higher, means compactness is more, infiltration of water is less. Infiltration of water is less if the soil having the higher bulk density, means soil having the lower organic carbon content. If the organic carbon content in soil is higher, means soil may have the less bulk density. The average bulk density of the organic matter or the humus, that FIM, is 0.5 gram per cc, 0.5 मेगाग्राम पर क्यूबिक मीटर. ये जो 3 क्वेश्चन हैं, इन 3 क्वेश्चनों में से एक क्वेश्चन आपको एग्जामों में मिलना चाहिए. The bulk density of the humus is 0.5. The bulk density, average bulk density of the Indian soil is 1.33 or 1.35, and similarly the particle density 2.65. And bulk density is proportionally related to the compactness and inversely related to the organic matter content or infiltration of the water. The bulk density of surface soil is always less as compared to the subsurface soil. Why? Due to the overlaying weight of the soil, of the upper soils, increases the compactness in the subsoil and ultimately increases the bulk density. So bulk density is very, very important parameter. It indicates the root growth also. If bulk density is more, root growth will be less. The root growth will be less. Ultimately, the yield penalty will be more. Means yield we achieve the less yield. So tillage, good tilth or optimum tillage reduces the bulk density. Similarly, the soil color. Dark color of the soil mainly due to the organic matter content. Means the soil having the more organic matter content means the soil color will be the dark. So dark color of the soil dark color of the soil indicates the more organic matter contents. So here the important thing is that if we increase the tillage, if we increase the tilling intensity, the organic carbon from the soil will lost. Means oxidation of the organic carbon, means fading of the color. That's why the soil having the zero tillage always contains the more organic carbon as compared to the intensive tilling soil. In India, the tropical and subtropical climates, more importantly, tillage decreases the soil organic carbon content because it increases the oxidation. If the oxidation of the carbon means evaluation of the CO2, and evaluation of the CO2 into the atmosphere means increase the greenhouse gas emission, and greenhouse gas emission will create the global warming. So tillage is always not so much necessary that intensive tillage. That's why the new concept of the conservation tillage. Similarly, the soil water. The optimum tillage increases the water holding capacity of the soil, infiltration and hydraulic conductivity. So the water holding capacity, what is the water holding capacity? Water holding capacity is the ability of the soil to withhold the water against a certain pressure. Similarly, the infiltration. What is the infiltration? Infiltration, there are two terms: infiltration, percolation, and that seepage. Three terms: infiltration, percolation, and seepage. Infiltration means movement of the water. That infiltration means entry of the water, and percolation means downward movement of the water, means to reach the water table. Similarly, the seepage. Seepage is the lateral movement of the water. तीनों का डिफिनीशन एकदम क्लियर है, एक एग्जाम में पूछा जा सकता है. इन्फिल्ट्रेशन, परकोलेशन एंड सीपेज. Seepage is the downward movement of the water. You might have seen when you go to the field, there is that water channel, and from the side of the water channel you can find some bed soil that increasing the receding the some amount of the water, that is called the seepage losses of the water. Similarly, the downward movement of the water beyond the water table is called the percolation. Means percolation is the advanced stage of the infiltration. तो पहले इन्फिल्ट्रेशन होगा, आफ्टर दैट परकोलेशन होगा. तीनों में डिफरेंस एकदम क्लियर होना चाहिए, ये किसी भी एग्जाम में एक पूछा जा सकता है. Similarly, the soil temperature. Tillage loosens the soil surface, resulting in decrease of the thermal conductivity. So tillage loosens the soil and reduce the thermal conductivity. So we should know what is the thermal conductivity. Thermal conductivity is totally depend on the tillage practices. We can say the pores. The thermal conductivity means the movement of the temperature in the soil. It depends on the texture, moisture, and organic matter content of the soil. Here you see, if the organic matter content in soil is higher, thermal conductivity will be more. So, as we know, we have discussed already that tillage reduces the organic matter content and thereby also decreasing the thermal conductivity. So, thermal conductivity always higher in the sandy soil. It is very important. Thermal conductivity is always higher in the sandy soil as compared to the clay soil. तो आपसे एग्जाम में पूछा जा सकता है कौन सी सॉइल में थर्मल कंडक्टिविटी ज्यादा होती है, तो योर आंसर विल बी दी क्ले सॉइल. जैसे जैसे सॉइल में क्ले कंटेंट बढ़ता जाएगा, देन थर्मल कंडक्टिविटी बढ़ती जाएगी. Similarly, as the soil moisture content increases, thermal conductivity also increases, and soil organic matter content lowers the thermal conductivity. I am correcting myself. The soil organic matter content lower the thermal conductivity. In principle, we can say thermal conductivity decreases with increase in the porosity. If the soil porosity is more, thermal conductivity will be the less. In sandy soil, micropores are more. There are two kinds of the pores, micropores and macropores. In sandy soil, macropores is the more, the total porosity of the soil is less. The soil having the more macropores, it certainly we have the less porosity. Means higher porosity means more macropores, and less porosity means higher macropores, and more porosity means less macropores and more micropores. That increasing the organic matter content in the fine particles increases the total porosity. The organic matter content increases the total porosity. That's why the heavy soil with higher organic matter content have the lesser conductivity. Clay soil having the lesser conductivity as compared to the sandy soils. The soil porosity is reduced due to presence of the water and increases the thermal conductivity. Means if the water content in the soil is high, the thermal conductivity of the soil is more. Similarly, that already I have discussed that soil porosity is reduced due to presence of the water, and when soil is plowed, its porosity increases and reduces the thermal conductivity. So we can say the irrigation and plowing influence the significant on the heat flow in the soil. So it is very, very important. Tillage play a crucial role to maintain the soil temperature. So these are all about the effect of the tillage on soil physical property. So we should know what kind of the effect of the soils on the tillage on the soil temperature, or we can say the maintain the soil temperature, and also influence the growth of the crops. Again, tillage also play a crucial role for maintaining the water balance in the soil. Next thing is the classification of the tillage. The conventional tillage and modern consent of the tillage. Two kinds of the tillage is here. Conventional tillage. That somebody is asking me that, sir, please explain the effect of the organic matter content on the thermal conductivity once again. Very good. So we can say the thermal conductivity. Just you listen very carefully. Thermal conductivity means the movement of temperature into the soil. Movement of temperature into the soil. It depends on the texture, moisture, and organic matter content, mainly on the 3 points. First one is the texture, second one is the moisture, third one is the organic matter content in the soil. The thermal conductivity is higher for sandy soil as compared to the clay soil, because sandy soil having the more macropores. More macropores means less porosity. Okay. As the soil moisture content increases, thermal conductivity also increases. Means if the water of the soil, if the water content in the soil is increases, thermal conductivity will be increasing. And organic matter content lowers the thermal conductivity. Means organic matter content अगर ज्यादा होगा तो thermal conductivity कम होगी. Means organic matter increase the micropores. So in principle, we can say thermal conductivity decreases with increase in the porosity. Means the soil having the lesser bulk density, the thermal conductivity will be the higher. Means organic matter content is more, then thermal conductivity will be the less. But it again depends on the porosity. If question will come in sandy soil, if you added the organic matter, it reduces the bulk, it reduces the thermal conductivity. Similarly, in a heavy soil having the higher organic matter content, here you listen carefully. Heavy soil means more porosity. Okay, and heavy soil means that less micropores, less micropores and having the higher micropores, having the lesser conductivity. Means clay soils with high organic matter content having the lesser thermal conductivity. Again, if you increase the water content in the soil, thermal conductivity will be increasing. The point is very, very clear. Sandy soil having the more micropores, less organic matter content, higher thermal conductivity. Clay soil having the more micropores, more porosity, lesser thermal conductivity. Means if we increase the organic matter content in the soil, will we reduce the thermal conductivity. Okay. So now the classification of the tillage. I think it is clear to all the students. If you have any doubt, kindly chat me. No problem, I will reply. But my point is that it should be clear to each and every student. After that, this lecture, you can write a para on the tillage, and you can give the answer of the most of the questions will ask from any examination related to the tillage. So that will be the success of my lecture. So the classification of the tillage, we can say conventional tillage and modern concept of the tillage. Conventional tillage simply we can say the preparatory tillage or seed bed preparation. Or second one is the after cultivation. After cultivation, which kind of the tillage is going on. That preparatory tillage again divided into the three parts: primary tillage, secondary tillage, and layout of the seed bed. And primary tillage is again divided into the deep lobbing, subsoiling, and year-round tillage. So we will discuss one by one. That and modern concept of the tillage is the minimum tillage, zero tillage, and stable mulch tillage or stable mulch farming. So preparatory tillage it refers to the, we can say, the tillage operation that carried out from the time of harvest of the crops to the sowing of the next crop. Harvesting के समय sowing तक जो भी होता है, that is comes up to the preparatory tillage. Generally, the preparatory tillage is the synonyms of the seed bed preparation. And preparatory tillage having the three distinct operations, we can say. First one is the primary tillage or ploughing. Second one is the secondary tillage. Third one is the layout of the seed bed. So primary tillage means opening of the compact soil. Opening of the compact soil with the help of the different tools or implements. And generally that primary tillage do to open the hard pan or reduce the hard pan into the soils. So it depends on the optimum time of the ploughing. Means the optimum range of the soil moisture for effective ploughing is 25 to 50% depletion of the available soil moisture. It is very important question. Then we should do the primary tillage. The soil contains the moisture between the 25 to 50% depletion of the available soil moisture. Means 25 to 50% depletion of the available soil moisture is the optimum condition for the primary tillage. It is clear? Means light soil can be plowed at the range of the moisture that we can say the more moisture condition while having the narrow for heavy soils. Means the window, ploughing window is little bit larger in sandy soil as compared to the heavy soils. Again, here the two terms I have told you: heavy soils and light soils. So we should know what is the heavy soil, what is the light soil. It's not at all related to the weight of the soil. It's not at all related to the weight of the soils. Heavy soils means the soils, the ploughing of a particular soil requiring the more energy. The ploughing of a particular soil requiring the more energy. That is called heavy soil. And the light soil, the soil that ploughing for a soil requiring the less energy. एक क्वेश्चन कई एग्जामों में पूछा गया कि heavy soils refers to या light soil refers to with weight of the soil that requiring the more energy to plow down the field, like. So it related to the energy required for the ploughing. That number of the ploughing is also very important. Suppose the heavy soil requiring the more number of ploughing as compared to the light soils. Heavy soils generally require 3 to 5 ploughing, and light soil require generally 1 to 2 ploughing. And depth of the ploughing, again the important things. Depth of the ploughing, it depends on the root zone of the grass. Again, the important thing is that it depends on the root zone of the grass. Means which kind of the grass you want to sow. Suppose if you are having the shallow rooted grass, we should do the shallow ploughing. Okay. What is the plough layer? Depth of the plough layer is 0 to 15 centimeter. If somebody will ask you what is the plough layer means the depth of the soil is 0 to 15 centimeter. Always that weight of the 1 hectare land, that is weight of the plough layer. Okay. And whatever the activity, maximum biological activity occurs in the plough layer. So our aim to make the plough layer more suitable. But again, here the question is that if we do ploughing year after year in the plough layer, then we'll create the hard pan below the 15 centimeter. That's why subsoiling or different kind of the other mechanisms is recommended to break that hard pan. That if you require the deep ploughing and inversion, for deep ploughing and inversion require the mold plough. And again, the cutting of grasses or spreading grasses and inversion, it requires the disc plough. Two important things: disc plough and mold plough. Disc plough is suitable for to cutting of the grasses. Means if the field is infested, the weed infested is more in the field, then the recommendable plough is disc plough. A disc that tractor driven disc also. Nowadays the more that bulk driven plough is not so that in fashion. That but disc that tractor driven plough is used in most of the areas. So the disc plough, tractor driven disc plough is mostly recommended to reduce the to cut the grasses or weeds in the field. And for inversion of the soil, it needs mold plough, tractor driven mold plough. Again, an important thing is that multi-purpose plough. But nowadays, multi-purpose plough is very less. The country plough is called multi-purpose plough. While you plough a 1 hectare field, a farmer, or we can say that particular person who plowed the 1 hectare field, it walked near about 60 kilometer for country plough and 40 or 45 kilometer for the mold plough to plough the 1 hectare land. And depth of the plough is also very important. In western country, we can say the rainfed condition में 50 centimeter depth के लिए कहते हैं deep ploughing, and that for rainfed condition and irrigated condition it is the 70 centimeter. Our that CRIDA, ICAR Central Research Institute for Dryland Agriculture, classified ploughing 5 to 6 centimeter as a shallow plough and 15 to 20 centimeter as a medium ploughing depth, and 25 to 30 centimeter is the deep ploughing depth. So deep ploughing is recommended to control the problematic weed. ये क्वेश्चन बहुत पूछा जाता है एग्जाम में. Deep ploughing recommended to control the perennial weeds, perennial obnoxious kind of the weeds. So it is all about the primary tillage. And subsoiling also done to reduce the hard pan. So it is all it is all about the primary tillage. And primary tillage may I have already told you the different kind of the plow is used. The second one is the secondary tillage. Secondary tillage is very important. Likewise, the primary tillage. Secondary tillage means the tillage operations that are performed on the soil after the primary tillage to bring a good soil tilth. And secondary tillage consists of the lighter or finer particles which is done to clean the soil and broke the clouds. Harrowing and plunking is done to serve those purposes. Means harrowing and plunking is the main secondary tillage implements. And plunking is done to crush the hard clods and level the soil surface and to compact the soil lightly. So it is that again the sowing it comes under the secondary tillage. It is very important. Sowing it comes under the secondary tillage. Second one is layout of the seed bed. There is the one component of the preparatory tillage. Labeling boards, buck scrapers are used for the labeling and markers used for the layout of the seed beds. Marker simply the stick of the plastics, or we can say the bamboo sticks or the wooden sticks that used to mark the field in the layout, that to make the layout in the field. So these are the this is all about the layout of the seed beds. Another important thing is the conservation tillage. It is all about the conventional tillage. Now the conservation tillage. We can say the conservation agriculture. So conservation agriculture, here are the three pillars. We should know the three pillars of the conservation agriculture. If somebody will ask you what is the conservation agriculture, then you must write the three pillars of the conservation agriculture. First one, minimum disturbance of the soil. Minimum disturbance of the soil. Second one, soil cover. Second one is the soil cover. Third one is the crop diversification or crop rotation. Three pillars of the conservation agriculture means minimum disturbance, partial retention of the crop residue, or we can say the soil cover, that at least 33% or 30% of the crop residue should remain on the field in conservation agriculture. And third in the crop diversification or crop rotation. So minimum tillage, we have here two. So minimum tillage means minimum disturbance of the soil. So first we will discuss the crop diversification. Crop diversification is very, very important. Means we should rotate the crops year after year, or we can say the sustainable intensification. Nowadays, sustainable intensification is very important term. Sustainable intensification means intensification of the activity and intensification of the crops and diversify the different resource utilization patterns in a sustainable manner. So that is called the intensification, or we can say the sustainable intensification. Third one is the second one is the soil cover. Soil cover means that residue retention, that we should cover the soil always. It will improve the Infiltration rate is improve the soil biological activity. It improve the it reduce the evaporation losses and regulate the soil temperature. Act as a mulch. It regulates the soil temperature, means it increases soil temperature during the winter season and decreases the soil temperature during the summer season. So it regulates the soil temperature and reduce the soil evaporation, increases the soil microbial parameters, and we can say the increase the earthworm population, increase the soil enzymatic reactions, like this. Sustainable intensification means that cultivation of the more number of the crops for efficient utilization of the available resources in a manner to increase the land use efficiency, increase the resource use efficiency, to reduce the global warming potential. We can say to capture and store the more carbon from the atmosphere inside the soil. Again, here the term I have told you that carbon sequestration. Then what is the carbon sequestration? Carbon sequestration means capturing and storing of the carbon dioxide, capturing the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and storing inside the soil in deeper layer. It's called the carbon sequestration. So sustainable intensification means cultivation of the more number of the crops in a year in a same piece of the field to efficient utilization of the available resources. It's called the sustainable intensification. Means nowadays people are talking about crop diversification or sustainable intensification. Both are the same thing, but difference is here. Sustainable intensification is considered on the basis of the ecological point. So again here, that ecological point means ecological footprint. That sustainable intensification must have the less ecological footprint. You might heard about the ecological footprint, energy footprint, water footprint, different kind of the footprint. Footprint means the amount of the production will be more as compared to the investment. Again, the important term is here ecological efficiency. Ecological efficiency means that ecological efficiency means economic creation per unit of the environmental destruction. Means you are emitting the carbon dioxide gas into the atmosphere and you are getting the 5 rupees a particular technology, and another technology you are emitting the 1 kg carbon dioxide equivalent and you are getting the 2 rupees. So the technology which generated the more economics, or we can say we get the more profit per unit of the less emission of the carbon dioxide equivalence is more profitable and having the more ecological efficiency. So ecological efficiency here means that economic gain per unit of the environmental destruction. So sustainable intensification having the more ecological efficiency, less carbon footprint, less water footprint, less energy footprint. So I think now it is clear to all that what is the sustainable intensification. So first term is the minimum disturbance of the soil. The minimum disturbance of the soil means minimum tillage. Minimum tillage, it aims at reducing the tillage operations to a minimum necessity for ensuring a good seed weight. Means minimum tillage means the reduction of the tillage up to a certain level. Only do the tilling operation that is important, that is necessary for a cultivation of the crop. The advantage of the minimum tillage mainly that the cost and time for the field preparation is reduced by reducing the number of the field operation. Means that more important advantage of the minimum tillage is reduce the cost and time. Second one, soil compaction is comparatively less. Means more bulk, that less bulk density and less compaction. Means soil structure is not destroyed. That intensive tillage responsible for the soil structure destruction. So minimum tillage is conserve the soil structure and reduce the soil erosion, because it increase the opportunity time. Then what is the opportunity time? Opportunity time is time between the initiation of the infiltration and runoff. Means the raindrop is impacted on the soil surface. It may have some time that penetrate into the soil or that runoff to the lower soil surface. So it increases the opportunity time. That's why increasing the infiltration and reduce the soil erosion. Another important thing is water storage in plough layer is increased. Certainly, if the opportunity time will increase, the water storage is increasing. But here, how we can reduce the tillage operations? First one is that by omitting the operations which do not give much benefit when compared to the cost. Means we should reduce those operations which do not have the direct impact on the economics. Another one is the combining the different agricultural operations like seeding and fertilizer together. Means verticum seed drill. Verticum seed drill means the fertilizer, the equipment used for sowing of the crops, which use that seeding and fertilizer all together. So it is very, very important. We should identify where tillage we can reduce. So that minimum tillage can be grouped into the following category. First one is the row zone tillage. Second one is the plough plant tillage. Third one is the wheel track tillage. Means row zone tillage means the primary tillage is done. हम क्या करेंगे? प्राइमरी टिलेज को इंटायर फील्ड में करेंगे जैसे एज यूजुअल कर रहे हैं. Then primary tillage is done, but the secondary tillage operations like disking and harrowing is restricted to the root zone only. हम सिर्फ रूट जोन में ही डिस्किंग ऑपरेशन सेकेंडरी टिलेज के ऑपरेशन करेंगे. एंड सेकेंड वन इज द प्लाव प्लांट टिलेज. मींस प्राइमरी टिलेज तो हम करेंगे. After the primary tillage, the special planter is used for sowing. In one run over the field, the row zone is pulverized and seed are sown by the planter. Means we use the machine that pulverize only the root zone and where seeding will be done. But we are not at all compromising the primary tillage. Third one is the wheel track tillage. Wheel track tillage means primary ploughing is done as usual here also. And tractor is used for the sowing. The wheel of the tractor pulverize the row zone in which the planting is done. So here, the three kinds of the minimum tillage we can obtain: row zone tillage, plough plant tillage, and wheel track tillage. The important thing is that in all the system, primary tillage is as usual, but secondary tillage replaced by the direct sowing, in which sown seed is covered in the root zone with the sowing implements. Vertisol is more suitable for minimum tillage. Means the question can be asked in the examination: which soil is more suitable, which soil order is more suitable for the minimum tillage? That your answer will be the vertisol. Vertisol means the black soil. Vertisol means the black soil. I will do something. Just I am ending my slides now. Then I will show here. I will give you some trick. Some trick is that how many soil order is USA via home AG? 12 soil orders. USA via home AG. USA means US means Altisol. I think you might be have knowledge about that. That 12 soil order. Similarly, our soils, I have made one trick for the learning of the Indian soils. that bay beam, black soil, black soil having the order vertisol, inertisol, the inceptisol, inertisol, and molisol. That four order comes under the black soils. The Indian black soils having the vertisol, inceptisol, inertisol, and the two orders, and highest area in Maharashtra. That it is entire about the black soil. The black soil having the vertisol, inceptisol, inertisol, and M reflect the state, Indian state having the highest area. Then Maharashtra having the highest area. Similarly, here D means desert soil having the inertisol, alfisol, and highest area in Rajasthan. Similarly, red soils. Red soils means alfisol, altisol, inceptisol, and highest area in Tamil Nadu. Similarly, laterite soil. Laterite soils means alfisol, altisol, argisol, highest area in Karnataka. Similarly, alluvial soils, inertisol, inceptisol, and highest area in UP. So here all about the 5 soils of the India. Similarly, from 5 terms, you can write each and everything about the Indian soils. If somebody will ask you, write the short note of the soil system of the Indian soils. If you learn these 5 terms, you can write, you can get the full marks. Okay, so 12 soil order and 12 soil orders. Here in Indian soils, we have black soil and highest area in Maharashtra, and desert soil we have highest area in Rajasthan. Red soil we have highest area in Tamil Nadu. Laterite soil we have highest area in Karnataka. Alluvial soil we have highest area in Uttar Pradesh. So by this you can write each and everything about the Indian soil. And this is the 12 soil order. And again, if you know the black soil means self-mulching soil. Self-mulching soil having the higher organic matter content, and desert soil, it's reflecting the term desert. Simply you can write, if somebody will ask you to write the desert soil, then desert soil you can write the desert soil mainly comprising the 2 soil orders, inertisol and alfisol. The highest area in the Indian state having the Rajasthan. That you can imagine that Rajasthan soils having the low organic matter content like this. That the organic soils means molisol, that histosol. Histosol means the organic soil having the organic matter more than 20%. So that this will discuss somebody who will tell you the soil science lecture. And another important is that zero tillage. Zero tillage, we have discussed the minimum tillage. Now come to the zero tillage. Zero tillage is the extreme form of the tillage. This is the extreme form of the tillage. शाम को ले नहीं, मैं लेक्चर ले रहा हूँ शाम को बता ठीक ठीक ठीक. The zero tillage means no tillage. It is the extreme form of the tillage. Here the primary tillage is completely avoided and secondary tillage to the restricted to the root zone only. Minimum tillage, प्राइमरी टिलेज हम लोग करते हैं, सेकेंडरी टिलेज को हम लोग रूट जोन में करते हैं. जीरो टिलेज में प्राइमरी टिलेज हम करते ही नहीं है. प्राइमरी टिलेज इज कंप्लीटली अवॉइडेड and secondary tillage restricted to the root zone only. So this is the clear-cut difference between the minimum tillage and zero tillage. And conventional tillage में हम सब कुछ करते हैं. Okay. In this new crop is planted in the residue of the previous crop without any prior soil tillage or seed bed. The important thing is that the idea of zero tillage was started in early 1940 by Edward Faulkner, who has written the book Plowman's Folly. So in examination, that question can come like this: who has wrote the Plowman's Folly? Then your answer will be the Edward Faulkner. So very first adopter of the zero tillage were Killingman, Edward Faulkner, and L.D. Porter, and Lawrence Young in Brazil. So ब्राजील में इन लोगों ने सबसे पहले जीरो टिलेज को अडॉप्ट किया. ओके, 1971 with Harvard Watcher. But GB triplet, I have written only triplet. GB triplet is considered a father of the zero tillage. So father of the tillage is Jethro Tull, and father of the zero tillage is GB triplet. It is all about the zero tillage. अगर जीरो टिलेज में 60 रूट लिखने को आता है एग्जाम में, योर आंसर शुड बी द एक्सट्रीम फॉर्म ऑफ द टिलेज. हियर प्राइमरी टिलेज इज कंप्लीटली अवॉइडेड एंड सेकेंडरी टिलेज रिस्ट्रिक्टेड टू द रूट जोन, एंड जीबी ट्रिपलेज इज कंसीडर्ड द फादर ऑफ जीरो टिलेज. आई एम श्योर दैट यू विल गेट द फुल मार्क्स. Another one is the advantage. What is the advantage of the zero tillage? Zero tilled soils are homogeneous in structure with more number of the earthworm. Earthworm is considered the natural plow. अर्थवर्म को हम लोग नेचुरल पिलाव और बायोलॉजिकल पिलाव भी कहते हैं. नेचुरल पिलाव और बायोलॉजिकल पिलाव. तो मोर नंबर ऑफ द अर्थवर्म. The organic matter content increases due to the less mineralization, means less oxidation of the carbon. ऑक्सीडेशन कब होगा? जब कार्बन का ब्रेकडाउन होगा. जब कार्बन का ब्रेकडाउन होगा, then more emission of the carbon dioxide. So here the more organic matter content means less mineralization. Less mineralization means low CO2 emission. Means the global warming potential of zero tillage is always less as compared to the conventional tillage. Surface runoff is reduced due to the presence of the mulch. Means mulch increases the opportunity time. If opportunity time is increased, then the erosion, the nutrient erosion, the nutrient losses and water losses, and we can say the soil losses will decrease. So it increases the opportunity time and reduces the surface runoff. But there is some disadvantage of the zero tillage. First one is the higher amount of the nitrogen has to be applied for mineralization of the organic matter into the zero tillage. Means we need to apply the higher amount of the nitrogen. Here, because zero tillage we promoted the residue retention and residue incorporation, and we know the residue of the different crops having the different amount of the nitrogen content. If the residue having the more nitrogen less nitrogen content means more shear ratio. If the more shear ratio, that will be the immobilization of the nitrogen. So here we should know what is the mineralization, what is the immobilization, what is the volatilisation, different kind of the mechanism in the nitrogen cycle. So mineralization means the conversion of the nitrogen to the plant available form, and immobilization means again the conversion into the gaseous form. Here just suppose you see the nitrogen mineralization. Nitrogen mineralization means first one is the 5 steps. 5 steps means aminization, ammonification, nitrification, denitrification. Okay, here the immobilization increases means that organism requiring the more nitrogen for the mineralization. So the residue, if the residue contains the less amount of the nitrogen, it increases the immobilization. The average nitrogen, here you write down it, the average nitrogen content must be 2.57% in the residue, or the 2.7% in the residue is necessary for the net mineralization. The net mineralization will occur when the residue contains 2.57% of the nitrogen, and that's only in the legumes, and most of the cereals having 0.5, 0.6% nitrogen only. So it is very, very important to apply the more nitrogen. Similarly, in case of the phosphorus, the phosphorus content, that sulfur content and phosphorus content is 0.2% is necessary. If the residue having the less than 0.2% phosphorus, that immobilization of phosphorus will take place. So that critical limit of the phosphorus content in the residue of 0.2%, and that for nitrogen, nitrogen not 2.57, 1.57, nitrogen for 1.57, 1.57% nitrogen is necessary, and phosphorus is 0.2%. Similarly, in the sulfur also. So that the critical limits in the residue content is necessary for facilitating the mineralization. So here in the zero tillage, we need the more nitrogen as compared to the conventional tillage. The perennial weeds problems. Perennial weeds problems means we are not using the deep clobbing and all, so increasing the problem of the weed flora. That's why zero tillage also called the chemical clobbing. Another name of the zero tillage is the chemical clobbing. Chemical clobbing. Here, due to chemicals, due to herbicides to kill the weeds, but the herbicide should be the non-selective. So sorry, that non-residual. Non-residual herbicide basically the glyphosate. Glyphosate बहुत पूछा जाता है एग्जामों में. Glyphosate is a non-selective translocated herbicide with minimum residual effect. It is recommended in the zero tillage farming that to use the glyphosate to reduce the weed problem. Similarly, paraquat and diquat also the non-selective but contact herbicide. Paraquat and diquat is the non-selective contact herbicide, and glyphosate is a non-selective translocated general weed killer herbicide. ये कई बार एग्जाम में पूछा गया है कि ग्लाइफोसाइट क्या है. तो ग्लाइफोसाइट इज द non-selective translocated general weed killer herbicide. तो herbicide पे जब आपको कोई पढ़ाएगा तो ये आपको बताएगा. ठीक है. So another one example that higher number of the volunteer plants and build up of the pest. Higher plant that volunteer plants and build up of the pest means in zero tillage it facilitates that we used to different kind of the residue on the retention, that residue retention on the soil surface. It promoted the infestation of the different kind of the diseases, because that disease is the harbor to the different kind of the plants and crops, and it increase the chances of the infestation. So that's why it is very, very important in such area to optimize the crop rotation time. To optimize the crop rotation time in zero tillage. It is not necessary to grow year and year after the same kind of the crop. So it is also important new research area to optimize the cropping system time in conservation agriculture. Which kind of the crop rotation? Suppose that scientists are promoting the to grow the cereals along with the legumes and oilseeds, but a particular rotation may have some time frame for 1 year, 2 year, or 3 years. So it is also an important area. So this is all about the tillage. We have discussed the different kind of the tillage and their advantage, disadvantage, factor affecting the tillage. And that effect of the zero tillage on the yield of the crops. It is totally the location specific and climatic, that climate regulated. But in one term we can say the yield of the zero tillage somewhat less as compared to the conventional tillage, but the economics and BC ratio of the zero tillage is more as compared to the conventional tillage, because here we are not using any kind of the tilling and we are saving the fuel and reducing the carbon footprint. But in some locations, scientists reported the more yield under the zero tillage as compared to the conventional tillage, but more yield that is not statistically significant. So we can say the yield are more or less same, but non-significantly less in zero tillage as compared to the conventional tillage. But economic output, total returns is more under the zero tillage. I think it may be clear to Mr. Vishal. So this is all about the tillage. So here you see, this is the picture of the my experiment. Here you see the manure application in the conventional tillage. You see the color of the soils is faded. That's I have told you in my slide that loss of the soil carbon. Here in the minimum tillage, you see the color of the soil somewhat dark as compared to the conventional tillage. Here you see again in the zero tillage. The zero tillage reduces the window period for the field preparation. So here we can facilitate the intensive cropping. Intensive cropping in terms of the, we can show that 15 days is I can say the 1 month time we can save. If we save the 1 month time, it will help to grow the more number of crops. Here you see, again you see here that in zero tillage, how the field is preparing and different kind of the crops can be cultivated. That linseed, lentil, and here the vegetable pea. So the rice fallow area in our country near about we can say the 6 to 7 million hectare, I think so. And the rice wheat area is, it is very important question. He asked in many examinations, the rice wheat area in India, that 10 million hectare. And rice wheat area in Asia, that 11.5, I think something so. You can check down from the literature. But it's very important question that rice wheat area in India. The rice wheat area is the single cropping system having the maximum area in India. Similarly, the rice fallow, that target area is the rice fallow to bring the revolution in the country to utilize the area after the rice harvesting. So the government scientists also committed to identify some genotypes and develop some suitable agro-management practices, agronomic practices to intensify that particular area. So zero tillage is very, very important. Zero tillage is very, very important in that particular that location. That somebody considering the implements for zero tillage, the happy seeder. Happy seeder is very, very important implement in the zero tillage. That can sow the seeds directly to the soil. The happy seeder is used for the zero till sowing. So happy seeder is very important implement for the zero tillage. And short duration crops, especially the lentil, linseed, is important crops to intensify the rice fallow. Here you see the crop performance. The crop performance in the zero tillage after harvest of the rice. You see the vegetable pea. This is experiment. This is a picture from my experiment only. So you can say the zero tillage is very, very important to intensify the rice fallow area. Again, you see the zero till rice. Zero till rice, rice is also coming very well in the zero tillage. So these are the water saving technology. If somebody will ask you, write this comment on the water saving technology, then you can see the zero till farming, zero till rice, intensification of the rice silo system. These 3-4 points you can write in that particular aspect. Another important thing is the stable mulch tillage or stable mulch farming. Stable mulch tillage Means soil is protected all times by growing up the different kind of the grass or by leaving the crop residue on the soil surface during the fallow periods. Generally, different kind of the blades or we can use disc in used to cut up the soil to 12 to 15 centimeter in the first operation and thereafter subsequently operation. And again, the disadvantage of the stable mulch farming or zero tillage also, the residue left on the soil surface interfere with the seed bed preparation and sowing operations. Means seed bed preparation, if having the more residue on the soil surface, it hinder the seed bed preparation. And also, it requires the more seed rate. At least 20 to 30% higher seed rate is required under the stable mulch farming and the zero till farming. Because it reduces the soil emergence and soil germination, that seed emergence and seed germination. So at almost 20 to 25% higher seed rate is required. In thumb rule, we can say if so the late sown crop also requiring the 20 to 30% higher seed rate as compared to the normal time of the sowing. And similarly, in zero tillage, we need more than to more that 20 or 30% higher seed rate. Similarly, the traditional tillage and sowing implements are not suitable for under these conditions. Means I have told you the happy seeder is recommended for the zero till sowing of the wheat. And regarding the organic matter content, somebody asked me that organic, how much that content organic matter is higher in the zero tillage compared to the conventional tillage. Means as a thumb rule, we can say, but it depends on the type of the management practices you are following and also the climatic condition. But if you practicing the zero tillage continuously for 5 to 6 years, the findings suggesting that 6 to 10% higher organic matter content in zero tillage as compared to the conventional tillage. But it all depends on the type of the soil, climatic condition, and management practices you are following. Another one is the puddling. Puddling is very, very important. Puddling I have kept here intensely that we have completed the tillage, but puddling is important. Why I have kept here that definition of puddling is asked in many examinations, or the write the short note on puddling. That puddling is the churning of the soil in standing water. Puddling का definition आप simply लिख सकते हैं churning of the soil in standing water. It's called puddling. But puddling destroys the soil structure. The objective of puddling, बहुत बार JRF के एग्जाम पूछा गया है, what is the main objective of the puddling? To reduce the population losses. And second important objective, to reduce the weed problem. First one is to check the population losses or to create the impervious layer that checks the population losses. But puddling destroys the soil structure. How puddling destroys the soil structure? The individual soil particles, means sand, silt, and clay, separated during the puddling. And if you have the cup of water that and put the different kind of the soil particles, and you can find that sand settle first, after that silt settle, then after clay will settle. So it creates the impervious layer, means increase the soil compactness, means more bulk density. It increases the bulk density, it increases the compactness, it may reduce the root growth of the subsequent crop. So that's why cultivation of the wheat, our transplanted rice, certainly will have the less yield as compared to the cultivation of the wheat after the aerobic rice. Aerobic rice also is very, very important. So here is important thing that soil with bulk density less than 1 are not suitable for puddling. Means the soil must have more than 1 bulk density for puddling. And again, the clay content is more than 20%. The soil should have more than 20% clay for puddling. If the soil having less than 20% clay, it may not suitable for puddling. Means puddled rice cannot be cultivated. So 20% is the critical limit of the clay content in the soil, and 1 bulk density is critical limit for soil suitable for puddling. So it is all about the puddling. अगर puddling पे 60 नोट लिखने को आ जाएगा तो आप इतना लिख देंगे, then you will get the full mark. Again, I have put here some implements. Tillage implements means primary tillage implements is the wooden plow, wall plow, disc plow, reversible or one-way plow, subsoil plow, and also the chisel plow, ridge plow, and rotary plow. These are the primary tillage implements. They can be asked in the examination that wooden plow is a primary tillage implement, and secondary tillage implements the cultivator, harrow, planks, rollers. These are the secondary tillage implements. And implements are the layout of the seed bed is the country plow, ridge plow, and bund makers. These are used for the that preparation of the seed bed. And the implement for the sowing plow, you can say the country plow, and also the seed drill, happy seeder in the zero tillage, and implements for intercultivation. Implements for intercultivation means blade harrow, country plow again the multi-purpose plow. That's why it comes the primary tillage, secondary tillage, and also for the intercultivation. Ridge plow, kurpi, kasola, beater, hoe, these are the implements for the intercultivation. So it is all about the tillage. So thank you very much. अब इसको डिस्कशन कर लेते हैं. अगर आपको कोई डाउट है तो we should discuss one by one.
From the participant, if anybody want to say something, they can ask their question in the chat box.
Participants, please.
I think sir has explained all questions side by side in lecture also.
Yes.
But again, if you have any question, you can
If
ask.
possible, Nana Sahib, make changes in the setting and allow speaker all the participant to speak. If anybody want to
That
speak,
will be
they
good.
can.
That will be good.
Hmm.
And if participants, if somebody is interested, they can call me, they can message me, they can mail me at any time. I will be happy to reply. And not only
Thank you,
for
sir.
tillage, you are preparing for the JRF.
Now participants can unmute themselves and can ask you questions.
अगर किसी पार्टिसिपेंट को कोई भी डिस्कशन करना है या तो चैट बॉक्स में डाल दीजिए या फिर आपने को जो है अनम्यूट भी कर दिया है, तो आप डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन आस्क कर लीजिए, पूछ लीजिए. नॉट ओनली रिलेटेड टू द टिलेज, एनी टॉपिक यू कैन आस्क मी. इन द नेट लेक्चर आई विल बी कवर मोर ऑफ मोस्ट ऑफ द टॉपिक, बट यू हैव एनी क्वेश्चन रिलेटेड टू द एग्रोनॉमी, यू कैन आस्क मी डायरेक्टली, नो प्रॉब्लम.
Earthing up. One Mayuri is asking about.
Okay, I am noted down. I have noted that earthing up. और भी बोलिए. Earthing up means कुछ क्रॉप्स हैं जिनकी ग्रोथ अच्छी होती है. Suppose that for the potato earthing up helps to that putting the soils on the beds, and that after sowing of the crops, and from the both sides we form the furrow between the two rows, and earthing up helps to that better growth, better yield in case of the potato, and also protect the potato from the that we can say the greenness, formation of the solanine, direct impact of the sunlight in the potato increase the solanine content. That's why you find the greening in the potato. Similarly, earthing up in case of the maize helps to reduce the lodging. Similarly, in the sugarcane helps that to reduce the lodging. So earthing up very important. We can say that activity to reduce the lodging and also provide the anchor to the crop. I think it is clear. Anybody else?
Yes,
Hello, sir.
Everybody replying about nice session, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, please.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, at the time of puddling,
Yeah.
why phosphorus recommended as basal dose and potassium recommended as top dressing only, sir?
That I am not getting your question properly.
Sir, phosphorus is recommended for only basal dose only, na?
Yeah. Okay. I got your question.
But why potassium is required for top dressing? That's what I'm asking. What is the difference between the both? They both.
Okay. Very good. See, that nitrogen mainly in the nitrate and that we will discuss first nitrogen, then phosphorus, then potassium. Okay. Then nitrogen, plant take up nitrogen in nitrate form. Okay. That nitrate form, that we know the clay having the negative charge. Okay. And phosphorus also have the negative charge. So we apply that at the time of the top dressing, and we increase the surface area, it will get fixed into the soil. It will not be available to the plants. So negative charge will fix to the positive charge. Okay. So it will be the fix between the that on the soil surface and the soil particles. So it will not be available to the crops. That's why the phosphorus use efficiency is very less. Phosphorus use efficiency of the India is 15 to 20%. सभी लोग इसको लिख लीजिए. Phosphorus use efficiency इंडिया में लेस देन 20% है. एक क्वेश्चन बहुत ज्यादा एग्जामों में पूछा जा चुका है और पूछा जा सकता भी है. That's why phosphorus is applied as a band placement. Similarly, potassium, the soil, Indian soil is rich in potassium because elite is a mineral, is a natural source of the potassium. That's why in most of the recommendation, potassium is not recommended. But nowadays, the net negative mining of the nutrient on an average 10 million ton per year. Net negative mining of the nutrient from the soil is 10 million ton per year. Means हम जो हार्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं उसका 10 मिलियन टन न्यूट्रिएंट की माइनिंग हर साल सॉइल में हो रही है. That's why potassium is come in the picture. And nowadays we are getting a good response of the potassium application. Then potassium also applied at the time of the sowing. But nitrogen को अगर एक बार में हम दे देंगे तो नाइट्रोजन 2-3 दिन में लीच कर जाएगी, उसका लॉस हो जाएगा. That's why nitrogen recommended for the split application. Okay. Then nitrogen use efficiency, average nitrogen use efficiency global that 57%, but in rice less than 40%. Similarly, the use efficiency of potassium is 78 to 80%. 78 to 80% the recommendation of the potassium. That potassium use efficiency, and most of the micronutrient use efficiency is less than 5%. इसको आप लिख लीजिए एकदम. That माइक्रोन्यूट्रिएंट का एफिशिएंसी 5 से 7% होता है और पोटेशियम का एफिशिएंसी 78 to 80% होता है. फास्फोरस एफिशिएंसी 15 to 20% होता है एंड नाइट्रोजन का एफिशिएंसी 30 to 40% होता है. एवरेज 57% होता है. राइस में नाइट्रोजन एफिशिएंसी कम होता है. दैट्स अगेन इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज दैट नाइट्रोजन, that nitrate fertilizer in rice is recommended to apply in the reduced zone, not in the oxidized zone. ये कई एग्जाम में पूछा गया है क्वेश्चन कि नाइट्रोजन को राइस में रिड्यूस्ड जोन में देना चाहिए जहां पे नाइट्रोजन की कमी हो. That should be in the reduced zone, not in the oxidized zone. I think it is clear. अगर डाउट है तो फिर से पूछ लीजिए.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
अगेन एक क्वेश्चन पूछा है इन्होंने, द रेजिडुअल इफेक्ट ऑफ द हेर्बिसाइड. द रेजिडुअल इफेक्ट ऑफ द हेर्बिसाइड मींस हमने जो भी हेर्बिसाइड क्रॉप में डाला है उसका जो सॉइल में रेजिडू रह जाता है सेकंड क्रॉप को ग्रो करने में, जो रेजिडुअल इफेक्ट रह जाता है मींस दैट मे हैव द नेगेटिव इंपैक्ट ऑन द सॉइल बायोलॉजिकल एक्टिविटी एंड आल्सो some we can say negative impact on the crop growth. तो उसको हम जो है रेजिडुअल इफेक्ट कहते हैं आफ्टर दैट रिमेनिंग ऑफ द क्रॉप. सपोज अगर आपने 240 एमाइन साइल डाला है, तो इफ यू अप्लाइड द 240 एमाइन साइल, तो इसके बाद में आप कॉटन लगा रहे हैं, ठीक है, तो कॉटन मींस डाइकॉट प्लांट्स में हैव द नेगेटिव इफेक्ट. ओके, अगेन द इंपॉर्ट इपिनास्टी एंड हाइपोनास्टी, ड्रिफ्ट हैजार्ड, ड्रिफ्ट हैजार्ड रिलेटेड टू द 214 कॉटन. मींस अगर आपने 240 स्प्रे किया है और डाइकॉट क्रॉप उसके पास में लगा हुआ है और हवा से थोड़ा सा भी अगर 240 उस पे चला गया, तो वो क्रॉप जो है ग्रोथ मतलब जो क्रॉप पे नेगेटिव इंपैक्ट करेगा, उस क्रॉप को मार देगा 240. दैट इज कॉल्ड ड्रिफ्ट हैजार्ड. एंड अगेन दैट रेजिडुअल इफेक्ट आई थिंक क्लियर, और सम इफ यू हैव सम डाउट please ask. If not, if it is not clear, you ask me again. Then again I will clear. No problem.
Sir, one more question about pendimethalin herbicide remains for how many time in soil after harvesting of crop?
That again very good question. That herbicides again is classified on the based of the residual effect in the soil. First one is the that non-residual herbicide. Another one is the that herbicide having the some medium duration, and some herbicide having the long duration. Okay, so in case of the pendimethalin is I think that generally recommended in the PPI, pre-plant incorporation, and pre-emergence also recommended. So that pendimethalin, that first you see that is less than I think metribuzin, pendimethalin. There are three classifications: less than 3 months, 3 to 6 months, and more than 6 months. And pendimethalin, I think, having the less than 3 month residual effect in the soil. And again, herbicide isoprotran having the 3 to 6 months. And dichlorobin and metribuzin and trifluralin, they having the more than 6 month residual effect in the soil. Okay.
Next one regarding the multi-purpose implement is country flower blade harrow. Many times asked in the exam.
Okay. So that multi-purpose plow is the country plow. Multi-purpose. Blade harrow is not a multi-purpose.
Okay, that is clear. Okay.
Blade harrow not at all a multi-purpose. Multi-purpose is the country plow.
Okay. Other than this, if anybody having any query, they can ask.
Again, if we talking about the herbicides, then herbicides is that some microbial process, chemical decomposition. That chemical decomposition में क्या होता है, जैसे मान लीजिए herbicide molecule को आपने डाला, जैसे फिनॉक्सी पे जो herbicides होते हैं, तो उसमें जो है decomposition हो जाता है हाइड्रोक्सिलेशन से. तो हाइड्रोक्सिलेशन से decomposition होने के बाद में उनको जो है फोटो decomposition हो जाता है. And biodegradation means that एक important thing है. अगर आपको पूछा जाता है मेन डिग्रेडेशन प्रोसेस क्या है हेर्बिसाइड की सॉइल में, दैट इज बायोडिग्रेडेशन. पूछ लेगा बायोडिग्रेडेशन है, केमिकल डिकम्पोजिशन है, फिजिकल डिकम्पोजिशन, बट में भी थी. तो माइक्रोबियल वी कैन से द बायोडिग्रेडेशन इज द मेजर रूट ऑफ द हेर्बिसाइड डिग्रेडेशन इन द सॉइल, दैट इज बायोडिग्रेडेशन. ओके
सर जी, वो next question है regarding soil trick we have given about soil order. I think
soil order, soil trick और soil order. देखिए 12 soil order हैं, 12 soil order हैं यूएस क्लासिफिकेशन के हिसाब से. पूछा जाता है या तो ऐसे पूछ लेगा कि कितने क्लासिफिकेशन है, दैट इज 12. यूएस से बाया होम एजी, यूएस से बाया होम एजी. यू का मतलब है अल्टीसोल, आक्सीसोल, मैं कहाँ चला गया, here this one, अल्टीसोल, अल्फीसोल, बर्टीसोल, इनेटीसोल, that insectisol, iridisol, हिस्टोसोल, आक्सीसोल, मोलिसोल, इनेटिसोल, and aridisol and jellisol. Jellisol is the soil from the we can say the glacier region, and these 5 classification is the Indian soil: black soil, desert soil, red soil, laterite soil and alluvial soil. तो मैंने इसको क्या किया, जब मैं प्रिपरेशन करता था जेआरएफ की, तो ये 3 जो है, ये तीनों आपने जो हो गए, ये हो गए सॉइल ऑर्डर: वर्टिसोल, इंसेप्टिसोल एंड इनेटिसोल, एंड हाईएस्ट एरिया इन द महाराष्ट्र। तो इससे हमको पूरा जो है 5 सॉइल का जो इंडियन सॉइल है उनका पूरा हमको लर्न हो जाएगा बहुत आसानी से, वो कभी नहीं भूलेंगे इसको आप। इसमें आपको कोई डाउट है किसी को? फिर से पूछ लीजिए, इट इज फ्रेंडली डिस्कशन।
One more question regarding they want to ask interrelationship between organic matter, thermal conductivity and porosity.
हाँ, ओके, आई विल अगेन एक्सप्लेन इट। इसको अच्छे से सुनिए। थर्मल कंडक्टिविटी मींस द मूवमेंट ऑफ टेम्परेचर इन द सॉइल। ओके, थर्मल कंडक्टिविटी इज द मूवमेंट ऑफ द टेम्परेचर इन द सॉइल। तो इट डिपेंड ऑन द सॉइल टेक्सचर, मॉइस्चर एंड ऑर्गेनिक मैटर कंटेंट। ये 3 इंपॉर्टेंट है। पूछ सकता है थर्मल कंडक्टिविटी मेनली किस पे डिपेंड करती है? दैट इज ऑन टेक्सचर, मॉइस्चर एंड ऑर्गेनिक मैटर कंटेंट। थर्मल कंडक्टिविटी इज हाई फॉर द सैंडी सॉइल एज कंपेयर टू द क्ले सॉइल। सैंडी सॉइल में थर्मल कंडक्टिविटी ज्यादा होती है एज कंपेयर टू द क्ले सॉइल। क्यों ज्यादा होती है? तो थर्मल कंडक्टिविटी में पोरोसिटी कम होती है, माइक्रोपोर्स ज्यादा होते हैं, माइक्रोपोर्स कम होते हैं। अगर माइक्रोपोर्स ज्यादा होंगे तो थर्मल कंडक्टिविटी ज्यादा होगी और पोरोसिटी कम होगी। ओके, एंड सिमिलरली जब सॉइल मॉइस्चर कंटेंट इंक्रीज करेंगे, इफ द सॉइल मॉइस्चर कंटेंट इंक्रीजेस द थर्मल कंडक्टिविटी आल्सो इंक्रीजेस। मींस जैसे थर्मल कंडक्टिविटी कहाँ ज्यादा होगी? जहां सबमर्ज्ड सॉइल है, क्योंकि पानी से सब भर गया है, वहां पानी से सब भर गया है, माइक्रोपोर्स मैक्रोपोर्स सभी। दैट्स वाई वहां इतनी सॉइल में हीट हो जाएगी कि क्रॉप सूखने लगती है। फ्लोपिंग इन टोबैको, इन फ्लडिंग, दैट इन फ्लड प्रोन एरिया। पूछा जाता है फ्लोपिंग किससे रिलेटेड है? FLOPPING फ्लोपिंग। बिल्टिंग क्यों होती है? क्योंकि वहां एक तो एयर कम हो जाती है, दूसरे थर्मल कंडक्टिविटी बढ़ जाती है। तो वाटर कंटेंट इज इंक्रीजिंग, थर्मल कंडक्टिविटी आल्सो इंक्रीजिंग। सिमिलरली ऑर्गेनिक मैटर, जब ऑर्गेनिक मैटर ज्यादा होगा तो पोरोसिटी ज्यादा होगी। जब पोरोसिटी ज्यादा होगी तो थर्मल कंडक्टिविटी कम होगी। मींस ऑर्गेनिक मैटर कंटेंट रिड्यूसेस द थर्मल कंडक्टिविटी। थर्मल कंडक्टिविटी इनवर्सली रिलेटेड टू द पोरोसिटी। ये पूछा जा सकता है, थर्मल कंडक्टिविटी इज इनवर्सली रिलेटेड टू द पोरोसिटी। मींस पोरोसिटी सॉइल की ज्यादा होगी तो थर्मल कंडक्टिविटी सॉइल की कम होगी। हम बोल ही दिए हैं सैंडी सॉइल में मैक्रोपोर्स ज्यादा होते हैं, इसलिए टोटल पोरोसिटी कम होती है, और क्ले सॉइल में माइक्रोपोर्स ज्यादा होते हैं, उसमें टोटल पोरोसिटी ज्यादा होती है। और ऑर्गेनिक मैटर कंटेंट पोरोसिटी को बढ़ा देता है, इसीलिए थर्मल कंडक्टिविटी को कम कर देता है। ओके, इट इज क्लियर और नॉट क्लियर? अगर क्लियर नहीं है तो मैं फिर से बताऊंगा, इट शुड बी क्लियर।
Yes, sir. These are the basics.
अगर फिर भी किसी स्टूडेंट को डाउट है, प्लीज आस्क मी। टिलेज को छोड़िए, वैसे आप पूछिए, कुछ भी पूछिए। ऐसे मान लीजिए एक क्वेश्चन एक बार एग्जाम में आया था, हार्वेस्टिंग डिफिकल्टी इन ग्राउंड नट। ग्राउंड नट में हार्वेस्टिंग की प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है। क्यों? जब हम डीप प्लॉविंग कर देते हैं। जब डीप प्लॉविंग कर देंगे तो पेक्स उसके अंदर चले जाएंगे सॉइल में। जब सॉइल में अंदर पेक्स चले जाएंगे तो हार्वेस्टिंग में नहीं हो पाएगी, उसको ज्यादा गड्ढा गहरा खोदना पड़ेगा। हमको उसके मतलब जो है निकालने के लिए इकोनॉमिक यील्ड को। सो ग्राउंड नट में बहुत ज्यादा डीप प्लॉविंग रिकमेंडेड नहीं है, ओके, क्योंकि ज्यादा मिट्टी पल्वराइज मिल जाएगी उसको तो नीचे तक चले जाएंगे, तो इट क्रिएट द डिफिकल्टी इन द हार्वेस्टिंग ऑफ द ग्राउंड नट, ओके। So it is very important, it is very pertinent to reduce the we can say to optimize the tillage, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। अगर और कोई क्वेश्चन है तो पूछिए।
Anybody from the participant having any query about this or any other topic if they
किसी
want to
टॉपिक
ask?
से रिलेटेड कोई भी क्यूरी हो, यू काइंडली आस्क मी। अगर अभी आपको नहीं पूछना, आप सीधे मेरे को व्हाट्सएप कर दीजिए, मेरा नंबर है यहाँ पे 8414876512। आप डायरेक्ट मेल कर दीजिए, फोन कर दीजिए, व्हाट्सएप कर दीजिए। बट अगर आप वास्तव में पढ़ रहे हो तो थिंग्स शुड बी वेरी वेरी क्लियर टू यू।
Yes, one more question is regarding what is the difference between extensive farming and intensive farming?
Yeah, intensive farming means that more number of the activity in the particular piece of the land, more number of the activity. Extensive means आपने पूरा एरिया में तो फैला दिया लेकिन एक्टिविटी आपकी कम है। Here an important thing is that mixed farming and farming system में क्या अंतर है? Mixed farming means इससे थोड़ा सा अलग है। एक्सटेंसिव फार्मिंग क्लियर हो गया आई थिंक सो, कि हमारा एक्टिविटी कम है लेकिन क्रॉप्स ज्यादा है, मतलब क्रॉप्स है, एरिया ज्यादा है। इंटेंसिव फार्मिंग एरिया कम है बट नंबर ऑफ द एंटरप्राइजेज ज्यादा है। सिमिलरली द फार्मिंग सिस्टम एंड मिक्स्ड फार्मिंग, मिक्स्ड फार्मिंग में भी डिफरेंट एंटरप्राइजेज होते हैं बट ओनली फॉर सबसिस्टेंस, बट इन द फार्मिंग सिस्टम वी आल्सो कंसीडर द that commercial scale and also consider the environmental point, atmosphere. Clear हुआ? It is clear to all? Please ask other questions. I feel happy if you ask me more and more questions. मैं तो डॉक्टर साहब से बोला था सिर्फ इंट्रोडक्शन रखेंगे। तो अगेन यू आस्क मी प्लीज, कभी आपको किसी एग्जाम में कोई क्वेश्चन पूछा गया हो एग्रोनॉमी से रिलेटेड, एग्रोनॉमी सॉइल साइंस, यू आस्क मी डायरेक्टली, नो इशू।
Hello,
हेलो
sir. That was a very nice session from you.
if that okay, और आपको किसी को भी अगर प्रिपरेशन करनी है, कभी भी दिल्ली आना है, कुछ भी मटेरियल चाहिए, यहाँ आइए, मेरे से मिलिए, कोई इशू नहीं है। Not to forget about this lecture timing, you can ask me at any time.
Okay, sir. Nice, sir. Nice. Nana Saib,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
if anybody don't have any query, so conclude the session.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay.
So, sir, thank you very much, sir, on behalf of Agriculture Extension and Communication Department. It was a very informative lecture. You have very nicely and deeply explained all things regarding to the topic, that is the tillage, tillage, its definition, concept of tillage, effect of tillage on soil physical properties, that is in temperature, bulk density, water holding capacity, infiltration, hydraulic conductivity, thermal conductivity. Also, you have very well explained the tillage, different types of the tillage, that is the preparatory tillage, conservation tillage, zero tillage, stubble mulch tillage, also puddling, and different implements used for the tillage, sowing, and intercultivation. Rather than that, sir, you have also focused on particular questions which are always asked in the SRF, JRF, ARS NET examinations. And sir, it will be definitely useful to the ICAR aspirants. So thanks one again, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. First, I would love that I also congratulate to all of you for organizing such wonderful lecture and wonderful lecture series. And thanks to the organizer, especially to Dr. Prashant, for giving me the opportunity to interact with all of you. And I really feel so that thanks to all of you, and especially that I hope and wishes best for the students who are preparing for the JRF and other examinations. And if the students have any query, any questions, kindly ask me after that, and also you can mail me, and you can ask that you have any question for the student particular, any question in any examination. If you have doubt of the answer, you can ask me directly. I will feel really very happy for answering your questions. And whenever come to Delhi, try to contact me, and whatever kind of the help required for the academic purpose, you can call me at any time. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you for your valuable guidance to the students and valuable words. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Good day.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you
bye-bye.
so much, sir. Sir, shall we conclude the session?